Okay, we're here at our Timeless Beauty. We're gonna show you in this video all the amazing trim detail and especially all the decorative ceilings throughout this house. This has been a really fun one for us and it's been extremely rewarding, and we're only at trim stage. We haven't even done the paint prep and finished this and put in, all the flooring to wrap this house up. So as we're standing in here, this is gonna be one of our favorite features. You're gonna come in through this front door here. We have this incredible walkway up with this amazing landscape design. It's, again, when this is finished, we have it masked off right now because we're doing stucco outside. We can have this amazing view of the fireplace and this four-sided negative edge hot tub going into the pool, and then beautiful palm tree with all the hedging out there. So again, this amazing view. But more importantly, as you come in, again, we're gonna see these cased openings, but this is one of my favorite details that we've installed. So we're sitting here in the formal living, and you can see that on the walls we have our astragals installed. This gives the wall, this will make the wall look like a really nice clean piece of molding. And then the ceiling details, you can see here, we did this video early on our YouTube channel. We actually framed in this coppered ceiling. Now at the coppered ceiling, you can see we actually brought down some thin, you can see it's just square trim that extends past the bottom of that coffered ceiling. And then on the inside, so on the inside of both of those that protrudes down, you can see that we have our miniature crown molding on the inside. And on the outside, it's gonna just be a nice clean box. And then as you go up, we have a shadow box of drywall. So in the very middle, we just have stacked drywall, which gives us a little shadow box, and then this decorative crown. So you essentially have tier after tier after tier, and then it extends down to give a tremendous amount of detail. What's neat about seeing it right now is you can actually see a little bit of all the different shades of product. They show you the stair stepping of the ceiling detail. And then when it's finished and it's all painted one color, you're still gonna see this ornate detail. It'll just look like one solid piece that's installed here in the formal living. We're standing in the great room here of our Timeless Beauty. And again, we're gonna showcase one of the ceiling details here in just the great room. Every room has a different trim detail. Now this one, if you recall, we were here at drywall stage and we had a T essentially. So, I mean, we have these drywall details here. You can see the stacked drywall that kind of give it that detail in the middle. And then where we had the grid running, we actually had it built up like a T. The reason we had it built up like a T is so that we had backing now for the crown molding. So we had crown molding on either side of the coffered ceiling, right on that T. And then the bottom of that crown actually extended past the T a little bit. And then we put a little astragal trim on the bottom to cap it. So as you had both crown moldings coming down, protruding past that T, you put the bottom cap, the astragal cap, and it now completes this entire decorative ceiling that you see above us. That astragal detail is the same one we're using for the walls. And again, you can see Canon. We have our laminated picture here to really lay out this, because on the flip side of this wall, we have our multi-slider, and the multi-slider matches exactly the width and layout of this astragal detail. And you'll see again these shadow boxes here. Now with the shadow boxes up top, again in the center, it's all a drywall detail, but you can see this decorative crown. Now this was a very intricate ceiling. There's a tremendous amount of detail and cuts and calculations and math that goes into this. So fortunately, our trim carpentry company, they have some very talented craftsmen that could really work around, especially in the center here, as we're tying all these decorative crown corners together and then stacking it and capping it with that astragal piece. So a very technical install. And now we have a really good painter that's gonna come in. He's gonna do all the prep, all the nail holes, all the putty, and all the Bondo, so that we can come in and we can finish this nice and clean, have it painted, and then it'll be pristine, ready to turn over for our client. Okay, as we continue on our trim tour of Timeless Beauty, you can see that every opening, throughout the house, we have these cased openings. So essentially like an archway, but this is a square arch. As you come through, it has this decorative trim, which really gives a lot of texture as you're going through the entire home. You're gonna see this going through the butler's pantry, in from the garage, so throughout the entire house. Again, as we come into the formal dining room here, again, we have the walls box, ceiling box. What's pretty neat as we come in here, we showed you the great room. So the great room has this very intricate and decorative coffered ceiling detail. We mimic that same thing. So you can see we have 9 boxes in here on a smaller scale that matches the great room. Now this is the formal dining room. So in the formal dining room, again, we're gonna have this chair railing. So this creates this like wainscoting from the chair rail, the boxes here below down to the floor. So this will look like just a nice wainscoting piece of trim carpentry from about waist height down to the floor. Now above this, again, Cannon had laid this out with our trim company for the box. Above the chair rail, above the wainscoting will be wallpaper. So we're gonna have wallpaper from here to the crown molding. Then again, this all gets finished off nice and clean. We have a feature wall here in the dining room. So again, in the feature wall, you can already see that we have the cased opening, feature molding, outlets in the baseboard. Because this is wood flooring, you have not seen the baseboard installed. So you're also gonna have this tall baseboard, which is gonna match all the way around throughout the hallways. But because this is all wood, again, we're gonna have the wood flooring and then the baseboard installed. So let's take you now to another area of the home to see some additional trim work. Here at Cannon, you can see he's the man, the myth, the legend behind the scenes, because Cannon's been laying all this trim work out. He's been running this project, and there's so much detail throughout. But we showed you, the formal dining, the great room, the living room. Now in the master suite, which really neat, he's already been working on some of the prep and painting, but you have this stacked shadow box of drywall up top, a little mini piece of crown, and then you can see our big cove crown there. So the big cove detail, and then a stacked crown on the bottom. So again, multiple layers all the way up. And then this will be finished. And if I'm not mistaken, right, Cannon, is this gold or is it just all white?
This one's all white.
I was seeing this with another project. Cannon did another project where they had a gold flare in there that we painted some gold. But this one's all gonna be white, and so it's gonna look like this tiered, step down ceiling the entire way. And that's why I need to have someone like Cannon that reminds you of all the details in this house. So now we're in the closet. We actually have two closets, a his and her closet. And even in an area that's maybe dressed down, we'll say, play on words as we're in the closet, right? We're still gonna have a crown detail. So you see we built this soffit crown detail. Somewhat more of them may be simple, but it continues that trim theme throughout the house. But let's bring you back here into the bathroom. Again, keep in mind that we have the flooring covered. There's a lot of marble, so we're protecting the floors, a ram board here. So you have this marble detail, this big walk-in shower, cased opening. But again, even in the master bathroom, you can see above me, we have this shadow box. So we have this drywall shadow box that goes all the way through, very similar to what you saw in the gray room as well as the master bedroom. So the stacked shadow box with the crown that's been prepped, painted, and finished that comes all the way through. And again, even a small area you wouldn't think of. We're sitting here in the water closet. So this is our toilet. We have this beautiful pocket door. And again, the pocket door, as all the interior doors, they match all of our cased openings. Our cased openings have the same detail. So even our pocket door, you come in here, we got some storage there, toilet paper, all the essentials. And then our crown molding like you'd see in the closet. Just every aspect of this home, there's no detail overlooked. All the windows are cased. And again, in here we'll be installing the crown molding later as we get into that closet. So that'll wrap up our trim tour. And thank you for tuning in. Make sure and like, comment, subscribe, and let us know what you would like to see next on our following videos.